Friends, the intention of this session is to help you score more than 280 marks. I have scored 340 plus marks for more than 3 times, and the best score in public administration that I got is 372. So with all my experience in answer writing, I am doing these sessions, so it will help you a lot in improving your marks. Taken from, coming to the question, this question is taken from 2023 mains exam. So let me read the question once. The judiciary is playing a more positive role in policy formulation, not just in limiting the government actions, but also in mandating them. Comment. Alright. So it is a question on comment. So whether really judiciary is playing a positive role in policy formulation as well as mandating the government. Right. So it is, the question is about, if you take the crux of the question, the role of judiciary, alright, the question is about the role of judiciary in policy making, alright. So what kind of role that judiciary is playing? The question says that it is a positive role, it is the positive role, alright. So we should highlight this. So how judiciary is playing a positive role in policy making, right? So not only in limiting the government, but also in mandating the government, right? So how judiciary is playing a positive role? So here you can answer this question only by using the examples, only by using case studies. It is how Supreme Court judgments really led to policy formulations, alright. So unless we use this case laws or judgments, it is not possible to justify the answer, alright. So first of all, the first part of your answer is, so what is the role, what is the normal role played by judiciary, right? So if you take this judiciary being a watchdog of constitution, judiciary being a guardian of fundamental rights, it has an important role, right, along with the other organs of the state, right? So as a watchdog of constitution, judiciary can also provide all the necessary directions to the both legislature as well as executive, right? So this is how your answer should start. That means your answer should start with the positive role of judiciary, saying it as a guardian of constitution, right? So as a guardian of constitution, it has every right to give all the necessary directions, alright. So this is one thing. And what are the instruments of judiciary which it can use? Say for example, judicial review is the best, judicial review is the most important instrument of judiciary in examining the acts of executive as well as legislature and correcting them, alright. So instruments. So what are those conditions when judiciary comes into pictures? Say for example, maladministration, malfeasance, misfeasance. So these are the cases where judiciary comes into picture, alright. So this is what your first part of the answer. Now coming to the question. The question is not about when judiciary comes into a picture or what is the role played by picture. Question is about how judiciary is involved in policy making. So in the recent past, so why we see a role of judiciary? So next question is why judiciary role is seen, alright. So bring out the reasons, bring out the context for involvement of judiciary. So with the increasing functions of the state, with the increasing complexity of the functions of the state, right, with the increasing needs and demands from the people particularly. So if you take the rights of people. So the rights of people, the ambit, the scope of rights of people is ever increasing with the changing nature of state as well as with the changing demands of the people. So judiciary as a guardian of rights of people, right? It has every duty to protect the rights, and in that process, judiciary has taken a role of, right, giving all the necessary directions or all the necessary inputs to the government. Say for example, right, now go for examples, the evolution of environmental laws in India. Alright, so how judiciary played a role in what you call emergence of this environmental laws, right, particularly the Dehradun Valley case, MC Mehta case. Alright, so role of judiciary in reservations, the policy towards reservations. You take Keshan Bharti case, right, and recently the constitutional bench that was constituted to deal with the issue of 103rd Amendment Act. So how Supreme Court has supported these reservations for EWS. Alright, implementation of Uniform Civil Code. So these are different examples, right? The Shabanu judgment, right? And even earlier in SR Bommai case, how Supreme Court has directed the government to implement Uniform Civil Code in a phased manner, right? So this is how the Supreme Court judgments, right, played an important role in policy formulation, right? So this is the crux of the answer. So by using 2 to 3 such examples, you can answer this question, right, and conclude that, right. Coming to the conclusion, right. So with the changing, so remember our answer, our conclusion to the answer should come along with the changing nature of state. So say that with the changing nature of state, right, the role of judiciary is ever increasing. So it is not about the domination of judiciary over the executive. Remember, never say that judiciary is dominating. Always say that judiciary is acting as a guiding spirit, both guiding spirit for the government in making of legislations. Judiciary is providing what you call a specialized inputs for the government in the law making process as well as in law implementation process. So traditionally judiciary is seen only to examine the acts of executive, but now it is a proactive role of the judiciary. Alright, so this is how you should conclude the answer, and you should support that yes, this proactive role is essential with the increasing complexity of the functions. Alright, so if you can use this answer, then if you can follow this kind of style, it will be very easy for you to score more marks. Alright, so the crux of this answer is using of these examples. So first, what is the role of judiciary? When judiciary comes into picture, what are the instruments available, how judiciary is involved in policy making, particularly in the present day context. So you should explain the context as well as you should use some of the examples.